It's the 4th of July. Woo! What to do with my day? I always love a good holiday. But first, write a poem. Any time now would be good. I love to hear Abraham singing. The breeder said to me, he's a champ, and you never would have got him if he was any taller. So technically, he's not a champ, but sing he can, and sing he does. He's my little Abraham, and a champion to me. I can hear him from 51 feet away, making indoors very pleasant. At the moment, I'm a few feet away. Abraham is preening, awaiting his breakfast. The finches are chirping in anticipation. Broccoli, spinach, and seed, with a garnish of carrots. I await a banana smoothie, which will come after I feed everyone. It's early morning, without a speck of light. Is there a poem today or not? Usually something will sneak in on me, and before I know it, I'm back in time, or scooting around in the dewy dusk. But I don't want to repeat myself, nor tell the tedious story insisted upon by my muse, so I'm vetoing everything she's offering up this morning. Now she's slipped away, dejected. Sorry, I try not to hurt anyone's feelings. There was a time in grade school when Mrs. Bach wanted a calico kitten, as my cat Callie had just had a litter. But I selfishly decided to keep Pom Pom, the only calico born, and I couldn't sneak a tabby in on Mrs. Bach. As far as I remember, though, I was never mean, like Margie the Nameless, who had a surname, but she'd probably sue me now. I can't even say the worst thing she did. It was brutal. But one thing that wasn't horrible, but still pretty bad, was to promise me a pony from her grandmother, who allegedly owned a farm. Her grandmother and I corresponded, at which time her grandmother said, "Let's get you a pony." But I could tell her grandma's letters were actually written by Margie the Nameless, who didn't even try to disguise her very recognizable handwriting. Also, every other word was misspelled. But I kept the dream alive. It's funny how you can do that when you're a kid, and sometimes when you're older too. My mother, of course, was horrified by all of this, but Margie the Nameless, sociopath of the 6th grade, was teacher's pet, and Mrs. Bach adored her. Margie had a sidekick, too, whose name should have been Igor, but instead it was Debbie. Once I got on Margie the Nameless's bad side and had to dodge she and Debbie like the plague, pinballing their every tall tale about me. My mother rushed to meet with Mrs. Bach to defend my honor, but Mrs. Bach wouldn't listen. Don't even ask. It was incredible to me that my mother, respected member of the PTA and a very credible and good person, couldn't make her point. Often I wonder where Margie the Nameless is today, and if people grow out of this kind of thing. Maybe now she's a great benefactor, making up in the world for her childhood misdeeds. I also wonder about the girl she harmed, and if that poor soul could have possibly made her way in the world. As some people like to see it, in our inner city, there were the haves and the have-nots, and the sad, bashful soul I remember was so happy to get the party invitation from Margie the Nameless until she opened it in front of everyone, and it was blank. She was the true nameless one. Looks like the theme of the morning has arrived, and not a minute too soon. The muse snuck it in, always finding her way. Gautama Siddhartha broke his wife's heart, which didn't get to me as much as the heart of his horse, which also broke, causing the horse to die. Gautama abandoned everything and everyone who loved him, due to his quest to stop the endless cycle of rebirth and consequent suffering. When I attended my first satsang, I objected out loud to Gautama's total insensitivity and the suffering he caused to his family. Secretly, I meant horse. The teacher said, "You're new at this, aren't you?" Anyway, to me, it was a bunch of crap. A lot of harm done in order to find the phrase, "do no harm." But now I get it, although I still haven't forgiven the Buddha for what he did to his horse. As you can probably see, it was a big deal to me as a kid to be promised a horse which I never got because Margie the Nameless's grandma was such a dud. But there is something to the idea of doing no harm, and if we can get a thing or two out of that, especially at a time like this, we might have something.